begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to just Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly. Loading in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready, bitches. Winternomics. Welcome. Winter, 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 Winternomics. Winter, winter, winter. Welcome. Winter, winter, Winternomics.
What up? Happy Monday, y'all. How's everybody doing? You guys have a good week? What's poppin'? Tell me some things. So, hope you guys are paying attention to all platforms, like we talked about, like we post on every single show. Put some goodies up for you guys on TikTok. Yeah, I'm on there. Told you guys to watch that, right? What's going on with my focus? Alright, much better. Check. Alright. Get this situated real quick. Home. Got new stuff for you guys in OnlyFans of this morning, so make sure you check that. I want you guys to make sure you check in OnlyFans, like, every day. We're gonna have weekly updates and things like that. There'll be some kind of report coming out every single week in there on some asset class. It's gonna get busier and busier and busier. That same thing is gonna happen with TikTok and all my platforms. We're gonna kind of reconstitute the way we kind of deliver content for the new age, I guess. I'm adapting to the new era of short attention span theater. Alright, so I got a lot of stuff picked out today too. See what you guys are talking about. Appreciate everybody dropping some morning bits on there. See a bunch of names going by. Karosh, Tiki, Winter Trail Lifted. If I missed anybody, appreciate y'all. Izzy, of course, and all the usual crew. So, how'd you guys do? You guys hit some badass stuff. There's been a lot of fucking boomers. Total 2 did everything that we talked about. A lot of crypto plays fucking went flying. I would love to play the audio that's on these badass little short videos that we made, but I'll get fucking suspended, so I can't. But I will play the videos here in a second for you guys. Hopefully we got some scorecards, as Captain America Nomics demands your participation in the ecosystem. So appreciate everybody who took time to make some scorecards and fling those up on Reddit to help everybody else who's new to Reddit figure out what the fuck they're doing when they get there. I keep getting messages from people who ask me for other courses and shit like that. Like, the fucking show is the course. If you're watching the show is the course. If you're brand new to the show and you make an assumption in the first show that this show doesn't look like it's going to teach you what you need, you don't know what you're doing, right? If you don't know what you're doing, you really don't know what this show is teaching you. So be patient. Wake and bacon. Dry as shit this morning, Smalls. Facebook, we can do that. TikTok. Respect Mal, appreciate the bit, sir. Please take a look at HBAR USDT and HBAR ETH. We're gonna pick one of those. So let's see what else we see in here. V-Chain call was fire. Glad you dig it. Kaz, do you have any thoughts on the situation in Afghanistan? It's kind of crazy how fast the government caved in. Do you think this will affect the rest of the world's perception of the U.S.? I think a lot of things have been, compounding to affect the world's perception of the U.S. The handling of COVID, the whole predicament, the whole planet's in behind Trump's administration, the pullout by Biden right now, and seeing, Kabul fall like basically in like a week. Ultimately, like whatever the hell we did for 20 years over there, I don't think the Afghanistani people were ever going to be behind, a U.S. based version of Afghanistan. And Russia tried this shit already in the 80s. And, it's actually mind blowing. You really cannot submit an enemy who thinks they're going to paradise when they die. If you talk about the ultimate brainwashing to do to a people to make them like a lunatic fucking army, Islam is that fucking brainwashing. If you're going to get a bunch of pussy when you die, you're never going to fucking like surrender. You can't beat them. And Russia talked about this. Russia lost 10,000 troops. They lost 1 million people fighting Russia, and there was no sign of fucking surrender happening. Russia could have kept on smashing that country. There's no way to submit an enemy that's never gonna fucking stop fighting you, and that was the reality of it, right? Like they are not going to ever submit. So I don't even believe the trained Iraqi army, the Afghanistani army you were training, was ever going to be loyal to any kind of U.S. based cause when they left. If anything, they likely just put their guns down and walked out and said "fuck you" and thank God for getting out of our fucking country. So I think, Russia looked equally foolish trying this shit in the 80s. We look stupid trying this shit now. I don't really think Afghanistan makes either one look bad. It was just something that was going to end this way just sooner, or later, and we chose later. I think the handling of a few things makes the U.S. look, it's a lot of the goodwill the U.S. had has been stripped away in the last 8 years for a whole bunch of reasons, with NATO basically being weakened, the COVID mishandling, Afghanistan, really and truly the invasion of Afghanistan, the invasion of Iraq were all bullshit fucking reasons, to make somebody pay for 9/11. All of that's been making the U.S. look bad. Invading countries where they're the only judge, jury, and executioner, no matter what the international community says. If you're fucking full of shit about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, hanging a fucking dictator you used to work with, we look like scumbags globally. We look like the country you should never fucking do business with, because if you do, we'll burn you and fucking stab you in the back and fucking walk out with all your shit, which is pretty much what America does. So I don't know if it's like there's a making America look bad as a thing now. I guess it's all relative. You can make us look worse, but I think we've been looking bad for quite some fucking time right now. Morning Kaz Eco, what up? Doge USD for sure. We'll talk about crypto things. Catching back up. I was all up on that as well. Oh, VeChain. I'm like, what? FTT. Could we take a look at? Okay, I get to symbol. I get the symbols in a minute. Good morning. I wanted to ask if orange level. I wanted to ask if I identify a box range in a certain time frame and I later identify a structure above it, but it's in a smaller time frame. Should I play the structure regardless of the time frame, or wait for a structure in a similar time frame to the box range? That's a pretty good question. Resolution does matter, and I guess that the differential between time frames is worth noting, right? So if you found a box range, let's just say, let's be really extreme with it. If you found a box range on like a fucking weekly chart, right? Would you necessarily play a smaller structure that happened in a 1 minute above the threshold of the box? Probably not, because it's not really going to be meaningful to the weekly. So context matters, and like what resolution you decide to step into to play into a larger box range matters. Generally speaking, you don't need a structure the size of the box range. You get a weekly structure, you're not looking for another weekly structure above the box range. That's going to be another weekly box range. So there's, levels to the magnification that make sense and allow you to keep context from one time frame to another. So hopefully that helps you, play around with that. I heard Walmart is loading the bags with VeChain and some kind of partnership. If this is true, should this launch VeChain? I mean, if Walmart bought any crypto coin, wouldn't that launch anything? So one thing, don't trade off rumors. I have no idea how to verify that. But price structure would probably give it away if that was really a thing going on. If they obviously pop up with news and say that Walmart's gonna fucking any crypto coin, obviously it would go fucking insane. So that's not what we want to make decisions on, though, or rumors and possibilities and hypotheticals. We don't do any of that in the show to predict the stuff we do. What if this or that? We kind of look at like what's actually available to you right in front of your face, and we interpret it a little different than most people. But we don't really like base any of our projections on hypotheticals and what if this happens or what if that happens. We kind of look at like what's there in front of your face, and most everything that's going to happen, the information to prove it or figure it out, is hidden in plain sight by most people's biases. If you look close enough though and you kind of slow down, you could probably figure out if something really big is going to happen to that guy. Can look at skills for sure. Get that fucking laser out of my eye. Soon there will be the year of Shemitah. What's the probability of corrections in the market? I know about the Shemitah years. 2015 was the last Shemitah year. The next one's next year. There is a cyclicality to markets that may have coincidentally lined up with Shemitah. I'm not sure how much I hang on to that one as much as like I watch this major cyclicalities the market has as a whole. I watch the 16 to 18 year cycles that we see, like on the Dow 100 chart. And we topped out 1999, 2000 in the market, and the last Shemitah year was literally at the at the tip of that range when you're going to the 16th to 18th year. Shemitah showed up right in 2015, heading out of like the year 15 to 16. We had a major correction in China, a major correction to the DAX with like a flash crash August 24th, 2015, and then we recovered from that pretty fucking fast. As CBs are still standing by to step in. So. You could have probably seen a bigger de-risking in the market in 2015 if central banks didn't fucking backstop it like instantaneously. I think a lot of what people were waiting from the corrections, they were there. 2015, you could have had the market completely deflate when China fucking buckled after the stabilization fund failed. And right now, COVID probably should have done the same thing. Without the central bank stepping in to catch the fucking market on the ground, the blow up in COVID would have probably been worse in 2008, 2009. When the central banks, if they lose the ability to fucking backstop the market or outright stop backstopping the market, that's going to be when you see VIX-mageddon unfold. And it's likely going to be something they cannot contain. And that's going to allow a major unwinding to the marketplace. But maybe we watch Shemitah timing, we get there. Shemitah year will be 2022, so the next Shemitah year behind that's going to be 2029. And like I told you, my target for the stock market's run for the Dow to reach 110, 120 is somewhere between 2027 and 2029, like back into the 2020s. So who knows? Maybe the Shemitah timing will work out for us in the back end of the 2020s. Clip that. Some of it. Whatever you can get of it. Tilray, got you. It's been a long time to hear about Tilray. There's a lot of questions. 8:27, let me make sure I got enough time to do everything. Thanks for the great stream last week. Had some good calls over the weekend. Even though crypto is going well, I'm struggling with my exit strategy. Could you advise me on what important aspects I should take into consideration? Well, I'll give you some ideas about like managing risk and things like that here in a second. There's a couple ways you can do it, I guess. You should always have an idea of what you're looking to make. A lot of people see prices run further than what they expected if they take profits and they get mad at it and get all of it. Never be greedy. Never worry about having to get the absolute lowest low or the absolute highest high as your exit. Worry about capturing the bulk of the move, and there's a lot of things you can do to kind of keep yourself in the right place with that. So I'll try to talk about some risk management stuff before we go to like charts. All right. New Egg Commerce on electronic retailer recently accepted LTC as a form of payment. What are your thoughts on this? Can it change LTC utility? On that note, can we check LTC BTC? Is that an interesting spot at all-time lows? Okay, so we'll put that with LTC. You said they are on New Egg, which I know that site a lot, so that's pretty interesting. They got picked up for anything because that coin has pretty much got nothing special going on about it. So it's likely just Charlie Lee bribing a motherfucker to help pump the coin. That's basically all that coin is a pump and dump vehicle for that cocksucker. If he's doing BTC-LZ, can you do BTC-D? Yeah, you could do BTC. We're going to touch on crypto things and cover a few things crypto, so we'll get there. ADA USD. Okay, I'll put that in the list. What do I think of NFTs? King Mun Raider. So I talked about the very onset of the NFT kind of mania. That I thought the biggest opportunities for NFTs is going to be in like the music industry, where you might see an artist actually share some of his revenue stream with his fans, which would make for an incredible experience. If you buying the album could entitle you to actually get like, maybe a few $100 out of it if the album was a smash hit, making the album free plus making you get paid for it. I don't imagine any kind of like share stream where if you own like, Jay-Z's next album, you're going to make $100,000 if the album's a hit. But some kind of micro residual that if the album is like, triple platinum, whatever the fuck the ratings are for that, maybe, you being an early buyer of the album gets you in a position where you get some graduated scale and you make like a few $100 if the album's a smash hit. I think that would be viral if people got paid a little bit of money and compensation to actually listen to an artist they likes album and support it. And we do have an artist who is actually finally producing that exact thing, an NFT based album where you'll share in his revenues going forward. I think that's probably the most exciting avenue for everybody to participate in NFTs and kind of almost embrace the crypto idea that it's something to level the playing field for everybody. I think art, obviously, I think so. Like, seeing what Beeple did on there is huge, and I don't think that's necessarily going to go away. Tom Brady's just dropped an NFT pack, with D King right now with DraftKings, and I think seeing big names like that come into the marketplace, the high end athlete market and the music industry, I think are probably interesting places to look at. And I think Beeple set a precedent that top tier artwork I think is going to be worth paying attention to. But I do like the idea of revenue sharing with the people who are your fans. I think that creates an inclusive environment that could be really viral. Especially in the era of TikTok and viral music trends and things like that. I think it adds a dimension of fun to music. So that's kind of my thoughts on NFTs. Hey Kaz, you said once you think USA beats China in space and therefore remains dominant, although you also mentioned in a matter of time before China takes over, and can both realities exist? Would elite just leave Earth and abandon it for Chinese? Well, you're missing some details to that. So it's a matter of time for the Chinese take over Earth. Unless you're going to do something to wipe that population down, that population is going to win by sheer force and numbers. The Western powers, I believe, will take hold of the whole solar system, though, from off-world. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, both realities can exist at once. You can have the Chinese get control of the Earth, and the Western powers that be, move off-world into, Mars, possibly having weapons in fucking like cislunar orbit on the planet, and basically just pigeonholing the fucking Chinese right onto the planet. If the Chinese win this planet, the counterparty trade is going to be losing the whole solar system, likely. Unless they cripple the West on their way off the planet and take Earth and take the solar system, you're likely going to end up fucking exerting extreme amounts of force to get the planet. There's things that I can't really summarize as fast as I'd like to in this, but I think the chess move is them seizing the planet while missing the bigger picture of the whole solar system. I think if they try to leverage their resources to take both simultaneously, like I think they're going to try to on Mars, they're going to try to just outright outbuild the West on Mars, outbuild the West on the back of the moon, and try to like cement themselves in both places. But as you see, their economy keeps being crippled by things that we're doing, and as long as we can keep them hamstringed on Earth, they really can't fucking build it at the levels they really could if they were at full pace. So I think you're kind of going to watch like economic wars between the West and China, keeping them weak as possible, so they don't have the resources to do that. Because if China goes full steam back to maximum GDP potential, China will have the ability to fucking just move sheer human power and everything onto fucking these worlds and just take the whole damn solar system from everybody. So it behooves the West to keep China basically tripping over themselves. So you probably won't see any ends to the economic attacks on China in order to keep them weak enough to allow the West to entrench themselves off world before that fucking nightmare gets out there. Because China's effectively the fucking Borg. They're just literally going to assimilate everything out there if they can get free. So my thought process is you'll be seeing nothing but nightmares happen to China, and every kind of economic problem and sabotage inside their countries and things like that. The COVID might have likely been a first blow to them from the Western powers. I don't believe that virus was let loose by China. I think that virus is likely a fucking plant, probably from the West. But yeah, I think the Chinese Western wars will be something to watch, and you will see China ultimately end up with the Earth in the end of it. Okay, symbols. That was a lot. Good questions. I like that shit. It's good to think about these things. Doge, USD, FTT. I've got 834. Got good time. TT, USD. Can't really see shit. Where'd that red market go? I lost track of that fucker already. Damn it. Oh well, fuck it. CRM. LGT. PB. DIN. MGM, HBAR, USD. Is this HBAR shitcoin? Is this guy big enough to be on the show? VET, USD. Skills. Somebody check that market cap for me real quick. A2M ASX exchange. Tilray. Facebook. All. ASX guy again. Getting some Australian shares on here. I like that. LTC, BTC, BTCD, already said that. ADA, USD. Oh yeah. Done. Watermarks are on charts. Alright, got it. Thank you, Miss Vale. Can I do some cock and balls announced and told too? You cannot request the cock and balls. It just has to happen, you know. Is the NFT musician? Is the NFT musician? I think 3 Lau. Okay, yeah, I saw a post for it, but I forgot the name of the artist. Tory Lanez released an NFT album. Interesting. Do you know if he shares revenue streams on that, or what was the structure of that thing? Uranium. Okay, I think I got the symbols there. Couple cool plays, screenplays, right? The movie industry could do the same thing, right? NFT kind of movie deal would be interesting if you could share in like a blockbuster like Endgame, you know, to any meaningful level. So yeah, anything like that, movies, music, yeah, I think anything like that could be interesting where the patrons of the artist actually benefited from the artist going viral or the movie going viral. Good questions you guys are asking though. Very stimulating convo, good stuff to think about. Bit late to the request, but if there's time, I'll try to stick in there. Euro, YFI. That's a big ass coin, right? USDT. Okay. Alright, that's gonna have to be it. Alright, I'm trying to catch up. Wes gonna have some big old planet busters pointed back at the Chinese. I've been watching too much Expanse. 2 billion market cap. Okay, got it. Alright, last thing that's in there. Let's throw coin. I did want to talk about coin. Should have him in there. What do you think about Earth being hollow? Really? Is that the next question? Or we're not going to be able to tackle that one in the show today. Pretty funny. What do you think about the Earth being flat as well, right? Keep it with the theme of this show right now. So, space cash actually has a lot to do with what we're talking about markets. Hollow Earth theory, not so much. Alright, I got our symbols. Let's go look at some things. So first off, now that I got that figured out, what do you think about my head being hollow? Anyways, I'm just fucking with you. So, for you guys, let's see, how does this thing work? Don't fucking make some goddamn licensed music on my show and fuck me. This thing's so crazy. Main scene charts, not this yet. So, deep talk it was. I don't know why this thing does this on here, but you can't see everything. It's just fucking strange. Yeah, I'm old. I'm figuring this out. Whatever. Shut up. It's going alright. I'm doing stuff. So, this was a post. You can't even tell when shit is, you know, it's so crazy, but I'm trying to make it useful. So I put a post up here August 11th, I guess it was, for some crypto plays for you guys to pay attention to. And then we just did a highlight for you guys. So hopefully you keep on the platform. We try to always put something interesting, you know, on every platform for you. So if you take your time to look at either one, you don't have to be on every platform. There's always something for you on each one. But we're kind of trying something new that, you know, a new delivery style of kind of putting out content that's hopefully fun and simple enough for people to benefit from. So I want you guys to check these out. Gave you guys, it's not as good without the music, but we gave you guys some lessons on VPVRs. You guys are always curious how that works, how levels are generated. So we gave you a quick tutorial so you could kind of see like how you think about the VPVR as far as volume, you know, at price. and how it relates to what your shockwaves are doing and your trading levels and such. So this is kind of a simple, fun how-to on that. If you guys to check out, it's not, as always, we keep it simple. And then this was a before and after for your cryptos from the 11th. You guys pay attention. All 5 of these guys were bangers. AAVE took off actually this morning, up fucking like pumping like 10%. These guys are 50 and 30 alike. BTC and ETH, they're all up. So all 5 plays from that were fire as fuck with like pretty solid timing. So hope you guys are enjoying some of these out here too, and they're kind of creative and stuff like that. So anyways, and we're bringing some drill music to the fucking game because honestly this soy boy pussy shit of the fucking Gen Z movement's gotta die like right now. So we canceling the pussy soy boy generation of Gen Z and bringing some real fucking man shit back. If it's too hard for you, sorry, but yeah, at any rate, all y'all don't know what drill music is? Listen to that shit. Stop listening to that pussy shit you're listening to. It's making everybody a fucking bitch. That's why everybody's on that cancel culture shit. Alright. So. No Soy Boy fantasies available on fucking Winternomics TV. You are in the 4th dimension. I'm gonna take you back to the time when people were fucking actually people. And motherfuckers liked and respected the English language and loved pronouns. Alright. So here we are. If that offends you, wonderful. So what do we got? Dr. Doom is very creative. This everything in slow-mo. So I think this is Dr. Doom's second scorecard. I definitely like the character. Hopefully we see his ass in Endgame. This is interesting. What armor is this down here anyway? Oh shit, it's Galactus' shit. I was like, what the fuck? You got my head on that. Pretty cool. So it looks like you're doing pretty well for a new guy in here. Matic or Roblox, AMD. Always good to see a combination of crypto and stocks from really new guys. Really cool. Create a scorecard. Definitely dig it. What did you write up here? So text and comments. Oh, okay, cool. A lot of new folks who keep saying they watch the show a lot constantly come back and ask me like what to do. We talk about the scorecards every single show to help new people understand this is folks like you who are writing down what the fuck they did to get started. Everything you need to get started is actually in front of your face. You just have to take a minute to read and not like skim the show and then go, okay, I didn't see anything. Because if you write me a message, say you write my show, you watch my show, and then ask me where to get started, you instantly tell me you're a fucking jackass. So just, if you're going to watch the show, actually fucking pay attention. Everything you need for everyone to get started is right fucking here. So let's see what you say. My scorecard from the last 2 months. Biggest problems I've been working on solving are my taking profit levels. Going through the Reddit scorecards has been invaluable. See, like I said, to see where others have been planning their exits. Playing through earnings, constantly been told not to do this on Kaz's show. And although I didn't realize the company was reporting that week, I got hit hard by Amazon's dump. No excuses though. I have access to enough information that should have flagged this. Copying others' trades when they use a different plan to mine. Done this in a couple of times, foaming into something too late and have been punished. Analyzing these bad habits above to move towards a wholly logical approach. The last 2 months have been my best yet in terms of percent gain. As always, thanks for the accountability in the system and thanks for Kaz for showing us the path. So this is as much as you need to know. Go over here and read this shit. He's telling you exactly what you can learn. That's what all the scorecards here are. People have different experience levels, for different stories of how they got here, what they're learning as they go along. So it's an insane resource that we left public for you to study. Like everybody who's been learning from the ecosystem for fucking years is out here posting their ideas and experiences. You could not ask for more than this. Don't ask me for a fucking course. Go read the fucking free Reddit. People are just dying to fling money at shit and like get robbed. That's why people sell you bullshit indicators. The whole fucking shit's out here for you to just study. It takes 5 minutes of your fucking time. Stop asking to send me money when you haven't watched the show. I don't want your money because you're clearly an idiot and I don't want my name on the back of a jackass that doesn't read. So I won't take your money. I don't want you in my DMs if you haven't fucking spent the time to watch this free shit that's been rammed up your ass every fucking week. That's a memo on a memo. Alright. As far as earnings go, Izzy does a good job of making sure you guys know what's coming. So keep track of this. If you're in a play that's in here, definitely don't fucking get caught by surprise by it. We try to make sure all the things that could fucking surprise you, blindside you are here. As far as specific events for companies, and then as far as specific events for markets around the world. Whenever you see some shit like this, look, lots of red equals lots of fucking volatility. You've got the Fed this week. You've got fucking central bank, the New Zealand central bank. And they're going to do a rate announcement also Tuesday, tomorrow. And that's it. You just have Wednesday and there's a lot of shit. CPI from Great Britain. Inflation information is hot everywhere because inflation is going fucking crazy. Inflation information from Canada. So this is big for indexes, stock indexes and currency markets. Always pay attention to this, because even if you don't have a company announcement, the wrong fucking word out of the Fed can fuck you anyway. So definitely pay attention to what Wednesday's got going on, and then for the United States, retail sales is going to be a big number too. So definitely use the resource if you haven't read it. We didn't just put it up there for no reason. It's got a lot of stuff for you to help make your plans between the show, OnlyFans, TikTok, whatever the fuck you're on, Instagram. There is an infinite amount of information for you. You just need your time and patience to go through it. And we spoon feed you on the fucking show. What the hell else do you want? So as always, much appreciated, Izzy. And where's the other one? Some fun scorecard action. What are we at? 8:45. I gotta go a little faster. Neb 4 experience. This is Izzy. Oh, right on. This is a mentor for Nebula 4 and a student of Nebula 2 2018. The Neb 4 experience yielded multiple gems, one of which was understanding time and volume spreads, the role volatility plays within them, and the optimal points in price. This is slightly more advanced than what most of you are going to care about, but this can tell you where you can come from being a noob to where you can get, right? Izzy's a full-time trader, trading for a living, and actually teaching other traders within our community how to get going. Volume and time to consider putting them on such a dope thing to explore new concepts together and discovering new things as the logic evolves. One is never too old to learn new things or to appreciate you guys, mentors, students for that fire experience and opportunity. MJ of TA things. So, Izzy's actually a little bit older than me. So he started learning markets in his 40s and is a fucking monster. It's never too old to learn something. You just got to put the effort into it. Beast mode, 753% move on Amazon on a bull call spread, very sick, and then 1,000% play on Square and 1,000% play on Apple. When you start to understand price, that's when you move on to derivatives, and then you can leverage what you understand in price, and that's when that makes sense. You should not be in derivatives when you don't know what a stop order is. I talked to a number of you in Twitter Discord that came in through the last links to join church, who literally told us you didn't know what stop orders were, but you're already trying to figure out which option to buy. There's no fucking way you should be able to jump over order types to end up in the fucking deep end of the pool with that yet. So, pace yourself until you get to this point, you know what the fuck you're doing. Very dope images too, dig it. Shit. Evolving and improving, sequencing, Nebula 3, hit a HD for 25 hours and MS for 6 hours. Shout out to Kazo, Neb4 grads, and Eco to continue helping us improve and tweak our logic to allow us to make even more and lose less. All started out over 2 years ago, joining calls and participating as much as we could. Now still grinding and improving every day. Nebula 3 disciples. Sick shit. Very nice. Morgan Stanley was on the show for you guys at its all-time highs. And of course, Home Depot, we've had this on here various times, and it's also in OnlyFans. I see another cool graphic back here. This is PQ, the Oracle of Jamaica. Damn right, been keeping us on the point on the crypto tip across all other asset classes. Pay more attention than you did yesterday, and you'll see exponential progress unfathomable before. Awesome shit. Whole bunch of badass plays on here. BTC, NEO, LTC, Doge, ADA, ETH. So 27x, 29x, 32x, 20x. Are you seeing this shit? This is fucking crazy. That's fucking sick, dude. Amazing scorecard. Amazing graphic too. Alright. I dig it. Nothing else to check. Got a new morning report for you guys. Some crypto things up in OnlyFans. Make sure you check that shit out. And then we will move over to our chart day sit. Alright, where am I at? I got a bunch of shit to get through. I need to give you a risk management lesson and get all your symbols done in 12 fucking minutes. Alright. I won't do the risk management thing fast, but let's do some things here. So what do we have on this chart? I don't have any drawings on this one. We'll use this guy. So take profit targets. There's a lot of ways you can establish these things. Some people, let's establish how you take your trade. So you said you had a box range and you figure out something. So somebody said, hey, I had a box range. Let's say you define this as a box range. You just trapped in here and he's like, when you get out of here, I want to do stuff, right? This is a 3-hour chart. Right, smaller structure that sustains out here. What resolution is that guy at? Let's go down to 30 minutes. All right, and then this kind of guy, we make things simple, right? Box range and a box range. You don't have to do any flag drawings or anything like that. Range with the outside of a range. You like this guy, you say, hey, I want to take a trade on this dude, so I'm going to fucking buy a breakout of like this shit right here. And I'm going to put a fucking stop out of this shit right here. You can use this tool over here like we taught you in the last show, right, to define your whole trade. And then there's many ways you can do this, right? You can make a plan. most people, if you look at your statistics, one, your journaling is going to help you out. Figure out what in general moves do you normally make. You know, do you normally average hitting a 2.5x? Do you normally fucking put yourselves in front of 4 and 5x's? You're going to need a general idea of what you generally fucking hit to kind of figure out what you want to do with things. Right? So this guy, let's say that you plan for a 4x from the moment you take it, right? Sorry. What are you doing? Right? This could be your estimated, like, you know, exit strategy for this guy. And some people may sit here and you bet every single play, you're betting on 4x, and then it's just about the statistics of how many 4x's you hit, right? So you're only going to fucking plan for this. You know your stop when you get in, you know what you want to make out of it to get out, and you plan for this, and this is pretty much like the way you play, regardless of what it does. He gets up here and does another one, maybe you make another plan like this. There's strategies like that where you can plan, you know, one single out for it. You could probably stagger it and maybe fucking reduce something. It all depends, you know, what you're, like I said, this is very specific to what's going on with you. Not something I can tell for everybody because it depends on your style and how you do things. But, you know, maybe you take a portion off like at halfway and maybe you take off the whole thing at what your full profit was. So at least you pay for your risk before it fucking possibly collapses in your face. You can also, if you're patient enough, you know, you can learn to stop managing with waves, and you can track him as he fucking moves up. As long as you're able to be patient, let him escape a range here and wait for a second. Know that you have your loss defined. Know this is the cost of doing business, and if he begins to progress, you know, in a meaningful way where you actually get wave structures that we talked about in the show, and you see this, you can actually start to follow waves, you know, and maybe even have a higher target where if he gets excessive, you do take something no matter what you've got. But there's many ways to kind of do this. You manage the resolution, you track your asset. You know, somebody who plays a breakout here, he could easily just track this and just fucking stop out when this kind of guy died and have a pretty great play in that for a day trade. So your resolution that you're playing in matters. How you define risk and profit targets, you know, initially when you set the trade. If you're going to define a plan of action, stick to it. If you're going to try and, you know, follow wave structure into, like, you know, larger time scales, and you're going to be patient. There's a multitude of things you can do. So hopefully this kind of gives you some ideas to think about. But go through your journal, look at what your average hit rates are, look at what's normally happening to you, and then kind of like work backward from there. So these are some ideas for you to fling around in your journals. All right, so now I'm at 8:52. That took 4 fucking minutes. Holy shit! All right, I can do this, and I took a decent amount of symbols. This is just asking for failure. All right, so we do crypto things last because you know how you motherfuckers are. So you're going to have to wait. And we'll do stock things first. CRM. What do you got? CRM. CRM. Okay, so is that the right chart for him? I don't think so. CRM. Okay, so CRM's at trigger. We did bull flag, rotation from big ass bull flag to first trigger, second trigger. Pretty sure you guys asked me this very recently a few times. So he's rotating here, and you're kind of waiting for him. He's stuck on trigger level. Like I said, lets him get above this. If he structures something nice, he can push to that and repeat it all over again. So you guys know about that guy. He's just an update from the last time. FLGT. Some biotech guys have been fucking crazy. That looks crazy. Good base and breakout. Huge arc, pullback. Didn't even make it back to the base, so that's kind of good. So he is, you know, for lack of a better word, in a big ass bull flag, just kind of a little hard to draw him. Let's see. Boy, I'm having some real artwork problems today. Alright, so he does have a big ass bull flag there. He is structured in trend. And so this is the last major move to put him in. So this is like your potentially higher floor all the way up here. And he's tracking out there. You do kind of see like a bear flag type deal to this. And that does look a little worrisome. So generally see this kind of like setup in it, like kind of grinding. He could arc all the way out of this kind of deal, but generally I like to see this kind of trap people and then kind of do something like that, violate the bear flag, look like he's going to collapse, and then do that, setting a higher floor from that question mark, ultimately in this resolution of time to help him build a wave, like, you know, like so, to help him go track the top. So if he does a counter structure away from that channel and sets a higher floor here to here, then he'll look good to actually run up and take out whatever the high this is, if this is ultimately it, or if he gets up to here, and then watch him for a move to go all the way up there. So let me make this wave blue, white. So, you know, that's possible. So if he's going to create the uptrend structure here within this range, then he's probably better off if he counter was across the bear flag, traps people, and then comes back out of it, and then pumps towards the box range up there, and then sets something up on the high. This kind of deal, right? You guys know that setup. You've seen it a million times. CRM, FLGT, PD. PD is pager duty. So we've done this before, a long time ago, clearly. Had a level here. He never got through it. Looked for a possible breakdown. He never got out of the base. So let's put him right there. He's held that base level. And then we can extend this like trigger over to. He's there. So same trigger applies. He's range bound right now. So look at him here. He does have our favorite shape, right? Oops. Definitely got a bull flag. So if he can kind of correct back to through this, he'd be worth paying attention to again above that level. Din Brands Global, don't know what the hell this is. This is a restaurant. A lot of restaurants look a lot better than this right now. I look at things like Yum, Mickey D's, right? These guys all look far fucking better. Shack. Shack's actually in the same structure as Din, so let's see that. Yeah, they look alike. Darden is stronger than that. So this is like a weaker food guy. I don't like how it's pretty grindy on the way down. This guy could kind of just keep grinding into dust. You want to see him recover in some lower resolution than this. Yeah, I don't like it. He's in a pretty clean downtrend. He could become a bull flag that I like to watch. First level you care about this guy holding ground is probably like here. And see if he holds on to that, you know, and then we make an evaluation on it. But right now, I think there's enough food guys that look strong. This is not your best bet. MGM, Casino. We have this dude on a bigger res on a trigger for the high that's set back in 2018. He's kind of dicking off on it. We put a box range over the trigger on top of that. It turned to absolute shit as he's grinded all over it. So we could kill that as a trigger. Kind of notate that this is your key level to sustain. So he's kind of chopping. Look at the box range he's got here. Project out the base of that box range. That's the 2B of the box range down there. So he's 2B, he's back above trigger. So this is not necessarily the worst looking thing. Downtrend structure that he's got here. That's a really shitty line I just drew. Yeah, actually that's right. Okay, so we're not trying to connect this high. We're connecting really this high here, and it's coincidental that's there. So this is actually a rotation up. So if he sits above here and keeps you a good structure, might be time to kind of keep rising casinos, but they've been pretty fucking weak. Like Las Vegas Sands just looks like fucking apocalyptic. So he's in a place that Las Vegas Sands is actually down in the base of the COVID lows. So if there's a place for him as the shittiest guy in the basket of casinos to hold ground, it'd probably be here, which would give some life to like Caesars and MGM who are sitting in structures like this. So MGM in the dead lows of COVID, this motherfucker in the dead lows of the projected box range of the last fucking cock, is possible range to watch these guys, and MGM is the strongest guy inside this crew. So it's the shittiest guys, LVS, then you got Caesars, and then MGM sticking out in the top. So actually, with the timing of the shit guy, it might be worth paying attention to these dudes right now, because if he holds, these guys will all hold. And we can look at guys like Win too, right? Oh, he looks like asshole. So fuck Win. Win looks like shit. The three I just told you, those are what you pay attention to. H-bar USD, that's a shit coin. Come back to that. Skills looks like holy hell in a handbasket. I'm pretty sure I drew this guy somewhere else. SKLZ. Yeah, there was skills before. This was a possible bull flag on the way down. Never fucking rotated it. Just kept on looking at death. And no one's brought him up since. So this guy is fucking in a shit pan. We don't try to fucking point shit things to catch like fucking trenches. This guy, you know, Macy's. We did talk about Macy's on the depths of hell. This dude's not quite such a long-lasting company. A little more speculative. If he's gonna hold, base of this range now is kind of like your thing to watch, right? But we talk about playing best of breed, so we're gonna help you guys with that. Don't go chasing things that look like a fucking avalanche. There's a reason they do those things, right? There's so many things in the market going at all-time highs that look better than this. It's a good idea to like learn not to chase things that look like shit like this. Bottom fishing will get you killed. So I'm not going to do this one. A2M Australia. A2 Milk Company. What did I just say? Stuff that looks like shit. So this guy's not totally in the fucking shit pan. Fascinating setup this guy's got actually. So this is a very crazy thing that happens, right? When you see this kind of setup, remember what I just said about that structure crossing over a bear channel, fucking people over, and then going back the other way? This is the Big Daddy version of it right here. So it turns into what looks like the Armageddon of a fucking giant bear channel, comes down and actually holds range with something like there. This is really the inception of the whole fucking thing. Before that, all you guys down here, right? So there's no real range to this guy during this whole fucking markup except for there. And he comes and he just stock ran the shit out of everybody that was inside of this structure. So there's a chance for this guy to pump. He's killed every motherfucker available here. Sustained the base of this fucking channel. He can pump through. This bar looks pretty good. He holds this base. He can pump to the other side. And above this, he'd be playable outside this range. So if he goes back through that shit, he's fucking dead. He'll head down to the base range. He'll be in deep shit. So underneath here, he's kind of dangerous. But the way he's come down and bricked everybody and kind of recoiled here, interacting with this, your first chance to do anything with this thing is right here. This is extremely dangerous though. Shit like this is kind of not what you want to go for. Again, while Australia's doing really well and the U.S. market's doing well, there's stronger assets you can go for. Tilray, about time somebody asked for this shit. What's he doing? Tilray's on this chart, T-L-R-Y. What do I at 9 o'clock? I gotta fucking finish. I haven't got the crypto yet. You guys are gonna kill me if I know crypto, right? So I'll do crypto. Tilray, key level we talked about here. Let's try to bull flag, never rotate again. Kind of watching this, has to sustain this level, and you're just looking for him to rotate. Failed to rotate this, 2B, he stopped running everybody. This is super dangerous. Let him rotate and solve it, resolve this. Trend-wise, down, down, down. So last low here, let him kill this level. Rotate this really graduated bull flag he's got, but this thing is fucking looks like shit. He's sitting on top of really the markup of this, but like I said, right now, let him stabilize. Marijuana, MJ as a basket, actually looks fucking significantly terrible. He's well through this, and if he falls down to this range, Tilray's going to break fully through what he's in right now. So a lot of these guys don't look good. We tell you to pay attention to IIPR. These dudes are the pickaxe and shovels. This is really your best play in marijuana, as we've told you many, many, many times. And he's fucking blown right at the top. So if you pay attention to this, you guys should have caught a good run since we've been mentioning this on the show for fucking literally years. I can't see that. Uranium. Uranium, we have a big time frame set up on this guy. Not here. There's Ura. So last time we looked at it, deep bull flag, low resolution, coming back to the top of the box range, looking for a rotation off the box. He did a pump from it, deflected off the box range you do here. So you're waiting for him to reemerge on top of this level that we got here, which is like 1925 or something like that. So he has to rotate back out of this to be good again. He's kind of done what we just showed you, right? Like again, right? Kind of like a bear channel being collapsed into a bull flag. If he rotates out, that'll look a lot better because you'll kill everybody that was part of this channel. So you're waiting for him to reestablish himself in 1925. That's so shitty. I'll make that guy something else. Yeah, let's make it yellow. And then coin. I guess this is a segue into our crypto fucking analysis. And so coin, like a lot of blockchain companies, look kind of interesting, or crypto-based companies. He's down here. Okay, that's just some crazy pre-market shit. That's not quite true. So with coin, he got into, from his IPO, pretty much a pretty good box range right here. And so you're waiting for him to sustain above it. So this is the bull flag to sustain above the box range like we talked about now. So alright, so that's what he's in. This is kind of hideous, but just to kind of like, we're just going to draw a shitty structure on it, just give you an idea. You're watching this kind of deal, but he's pretty much making a bull flag here, even though it looks fucking horrific. Alright, crypto update. Let's start with total 2. Sorry, I can't read much of your comments. I'm going to get this done fast enough. I got to kind of this whole ass. So total 2, everything we talked about in this guy for you guys to pay attention to. Boom. Work like a motherfucker. Box range, counterweight structure, stabilize above it, pump, right? Trade against it, flag against it, stabilize above it, pump, right? Bull flag, box range, bull flag, out. So we're trading for what we thought would look good. Big ass bull flag we told you in total 2. Nice hairy fucking testicles at the fucking end of it. Rotated out into a box range and went straight out. So if you guys have been paying attention since May 19th, all the way through here, you ain't missed shit. For everybody that fucking paid attention and is killed it. Awesome shit. Thanks for leaving some comments in TikTok. Leave some comments in fucking OnlyFans, wherever you find good plays for us. Let people know that this shit works for the guys that spend their time paying attention. Doge, right? Within sequence of this, everything in crypto is alike, right? So Doge, big ass bull flag, just like Total 2, rotation that we projected for you guys, and the swing level for it, that out of here. This is safe for like anybody that's kind of like newish, for anybody that kind of like, knows the game a little bit better. You could probably like literally have positions from down here and such. And so if you like locked in some good gains, make sure you don't give it back while markets are arcing out here. But this is pretty much what we wanted to see. Now we can see how much further Doge can go. So he's free and clear here. Your next possible level to care about is this significant high here, and see how he interacts if he gets up there. But right now, ease of movement. There should be some ease of movement once he's kind of cleared this stalled range that he had, and Total 2's done what he's done. So Total 2's out, and you're looking at him right now. He's actually through the range I'm kind of projecting for Doge's next level. So if he keeps pushing, he should drag Doge that way. Your next symbol is BTCD. So we talked about this guy, right? See that bear? This is that bear channel we told you about. He could roll that bear channel, just like we showed you a couple of other charts, and become a bull flag and then go back up. But for right now, while he draws down, this is giving life to all of crypto to outperform. So in total, in the TikTok call we showed you, right? We picked BTC and ETH, your two major big caps, and then we gave you some smaller cap guys that were likely to fucking haul ass too, which was Doge, XRP. Well, XRP is a big cap guy, and AAVE. So while BTC fucking blows off strength in the dominance basket, he lends strength to everybody else. So that's why you have XRP going fucking absolutely haywire, and Doge and guys like that, and AVEs and DOTs and all those guys. So as long as BTCD continues to track backwards off of this high range, he'll keep lending strength to the rest of crypto. Don't forget, like this range right here, this is your low range for him, this is your high range, and this is kind of like the range that was set, after the big May 19th climax move. So he's really just oscillating within this range still. He's a little skewed more than the original projection to go sideways. So he's skewed up here, and then he counter-structured off here when we warned you about this. And this is kind of why we kind of told you to focus on Total 2, because that move right there at that moment was exactly the gas pedal for Total 2, right? So that's all shitcoin land pumping with BTCD's correction. So you're still watching that right now. He's in a range. You kind of keep eyes on what he's doing. The other FTT, pretty sure I have a chart for this from somebody. Oh God, if I didn't know where it is. It's Binance. Fuck. Okay, so there's Binance. This was actually the shockwave we did May 19th. This is a projection with BTC, and we showed you the same range, same bull flag for Bitcoin. Right? It was the same bull flag right here, and we did the same oscillation projection for you guys when you asked me about this after the climax low. We projected him out, he held the range, and he literally arced out with Total 2. So structurally, as long as Total 2 keeps going, and he's this strong, you pretty much are waiting to see if this range fails and allows him to continue to ultimately test his highs. He's probably going to test that high first before he ultimately tests the first high. So this is your target for now to see if he can kind of, do his bullshit and go here and then do whatever. And then obviously, if he gets up there, you'd be waiting to see how he structures. Make this thing something that's not the same fucking color because it looks retarded. And there you go. HBR USD. I don't think I've seen this one. So he looks like everything else. He looks like a weaker version of some things we just pulled up, right? So like just to kind of get an idea how weak he is or not, let's look at total on top of him. And you can see how his structure looks, right? You can see total. So he's blown out this level, he's blown out this level, this area here. He's in the same place, so he's like Doge. He's a little weaker. Total is already through this. So this is like a lagging guy as far as like, your shitcoins go. They're definitely stronger dudes that are actually more in line with what Total's doing. But that being said, right, one crypto analysis pretty much lends to all of them. So with this guy, same things we just said about Total. If he keeps pushing, I don't generally like climax structure dump like this. Usually want some kind of a shockwave to stabilize and push him out of that. So I'd say with this guy, just kind of watch him above the high there and see if he makes a structure in this bitch and then comes out of it. I play him leaving this thing. He could kind of dick off and then go out of this. That's really horrible. Right? So he could do something in here. But I'd play him going north of that. I wouldn't fuck with him in that range. And keep your eyes on the overall crypto strength, Crypto keeps being strong, then he likely goes up into this entire congested shit. I don't know why that was even off. But yeah, you're likely up here somewhere in this shit. And from your VPVR lesson, right, probably a good place to fucking pay attention to this guy is like somewhere up in that shit. If he gets there, he probably stalls on here and does another box range. And he kind of gets some kind of like, time to watch what he sets up and does up there if he gets up there. Alright, that's H bar. think I have some of the crypto things. ADA. Somebody asked for VeChain. Yeah, there's VeChain. So gigantic ass bull flag, right? Doesn't need much explanation. YFI USD. I think somebody asked this once. No, YFI USDT. I guess not. Alright, so this coin's like fucking trading at some insane price. Really the small amount of coins. Same thing, right? He's basically total also. He's a little bit weaker even than some of the other guys that we saw pushing with total. Right? He's a lagger on total. So with the correlation in crypto, really all it amounts to is figuring out who's like leading and lagging assets, and that's kind of what you want to pay attention to. This is a lagging asset, but every single thing we said about fucking every other shitcoin right now holds true here as long as total maintains trajectory. So you're not looking at much else. This is just a weaker asset, and like I said, it's always a good idea to play strength, right? He clearly has a good floor here, broken that. He's sitting on top of that level, and so that's all you're watching with this big wick. Kind of don't like things like that. You know, have to see what he did down at lower rises. It's a shit wick. If this is like a nothing, well, you got decent volume on that. I guess right now you can really see is kind of like him holding ground here, and if he works his way to this wick, there's some significant volume on it. But above here, stepping out, total keeps pushing. It might drag this guy, but again, this dude's clearly weaker than many of the other assets that we look at in crypto right now. So HBAR, VeChain, FTT, USD, I did that already. Doge, USD. Do you really need Doge? I mean, it's Doge. Doing Doge things. I already had Doge up here. Yeah, so Doge, big ass bull flag, rotating with total, same shit, right? I think I already talked about this. I think I talked about this in the beginning. ADA. ADA's one I mentioned on the show to keep your eyes on. And there's ADA. Same key level he has. This is a swing level that was on him. And if you pay attention to the show, he marked 140. Pretty easy to watch and structure out, and blew right through this since August 7th. So one of many to pay attention to. Probably the next place you care about him is hitting his high up here and stalling and see if he creates a shockwave against that in the box range here, and then reassess what the rest of crypto is doing. I think I got them all. LTC BTC, last one. So somebody asked about LTC getting use case, and does that mean this fucking piece of dog shit's gonna be something anyone cares about in this fucking life? Probably not. LTC's chart is actually over here. BTC chart, way back here, right? So the LTC BTC chart I drew for you guys a while ago was looking at this possible massive bull flag declining structure. Does he have a use case? The fundamentals changing for him down in the base of this with pretty interesting timing with where we are. So if that's possible, some of these things need to come out. Some of these ranges we drew. So let's take some of this shit off of here. This is pretty much the projection when he's still in here. Just move him over here, right? If he comes out of this, that's what you're paying attention to right now. So I did give you some good TA on Litecoin. Your trigger level for this motherfucker will probably be paying attention to how he deals with this high right here. So we'll put these arrows out over this motherfucker. And this is kind of what you're waiting for. If LTC BTC is going to really be something, he'll have a lot of range of movement if he comes through this. He is coming off historic lows, and it is a massive bull flag. You know you should pay attention to these guys. So see how he deals with this level here, or makes it up here, like ETH BTC. He's going to have a ways to go if he does pull some shit like that off. So ETH BTC, that's not the chart to use. Like, the wave structure of this, it's massive. When you have this massive kind of bull flag structure like this, pay attention to these. If BTC does give up his dominance, he's going to give it across a few assets. ETH is kind of the one we talked about as best of breed for quite a while. If LTC comes back from the grave, I can promise you most people would never believe it when they saw it. So price is always king. Pay attention to that first, regardless of what a fucking bad image LTC has. If he comes out of this, he's going to be worth paying attention, just like anything else that comes out of a big-ass bull flag. He's going to have a reason for it. So that's it. It's 9:15. Y'all motherfuckers get ready for your day. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, learned some shit. Make sure you leave some comments on TikTok, Reddit, wherever you find some good content. Stay safe. Pay attention to OnlyFans. Going to give you more updates more frequently there like I did this morning. And you'll be getting some throughout the rest of the week. And pay attention to TikTok, because I'm going to do that shit all day too and fucking harden you motherfuckers up and get you away from that soy generation. Alright? So good luck out there. I'll catch y'all motherfuckers on the flip. Aight? Peace.
Welcome to Winternomics TV. Your stream will begin shortly.